Pickle, let's go to the hotline. And let's bring in the new head coach of the San Antonio Warren Warriors. We are joined by Coach Josh Littrell. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
I'm excellent. How are things in beautiful San Antonio, Texas?
Well, they're warm. Different than Iowa.
Different than Iowa's, right? I will say that from a weather perspective, you definitely got to change the scenery. I want to ask you a little bit about this job that you had. What I think a lot of people would consider to be a pretty good gig. You were the head coach at Waldorf up there in Iowa, an NAIA team. You were a head coach in college football, and you decided that, you know what, I want to go coach Texas high school football. I think there's a lot of people who wouldn't make that choice. Why was that important to you?
Well, I tell you what, yeah, I get asked that a lot, but I'm going to be honest with you. I feel more like a college head coach, down here at 6A high school in the state of Texas than I did at a small college, to be honest with you. We were good. I mean, we finished 23rd in the country up there. We've done some things that they've never done before, and I left a team that's probably going to be undefeated this year. And but it is what it is. We wanted to come back. We love San Antonio. Love the Warren community. I was offense coordinator here for about 6 years before I jumped back into the college game, and so we knew what we were coming back to.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I want to go next is you do have ties there to the San Antonio area. What was it important for you to come back not only to Texas but also to the San Antonio area where you have those roots?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Coach Brian Dowsing gave me an opportunity back in the day to join his staff and just the connections that I built and with our administration here. And, luckily that our, Valerie Sisk, our principal, was an assistant at the time when I was here the last time. So when it came time to, when this job opened up, I had no intentions of coming back here. And it just was too good of an opportunity to pass up.
So you come back down to Texas and you're greeted with the weirdest offseason of all time. I'm interested because you got hired in March and then all of this happened. How did you introduce yourself to your players? How did you kind of get the wheels rolling as far as putting your stamp on this Warren program?
Yeah, I tell you what, I haven't even met the players yet. I still don't know them. And I met them a few weeks we had of camp, but at the same time we didn't have 100% attendance just because of the COVID and everything like that. But I've leaned heavily. Our staff is we kept a big majority of our staff from the last staff, and so it wasn't very hard to keep things going in the right direction, and so that's been a big blessing. Basically my coaches being here, and but no, it's been crazy, and we're sitting here trying to plan. We've switched schedules like 3 times. The people that are going to be going crazy are the officials. I mean, nobody knows who's working where, but until we get some solid guidelines in place, it's been real difficult on everybody.
We're talking with Josh Littrell, the head coach of the San Antonio Warren Warriors here on Texas Football Today. Get involved with the conversation, hashtag TF Today. So Coach, can you give us a feel for what this team is going to look like? When we talk about a Josh Littrell coach team, what are you guys going to hang your hat on? What are you guys going to be about?
Yeah, I got a motto that I've always had as a head coach up at college. I want to bring down here, and it's kind of a hard hat mentality. A blue-collar work ethic. And I believe that, all of our kids, if we can get them to understand that and really buy into that, we're going to have athletes every year. So we can get them to buy into that, that hard hat mentality. It's really going to take over on the field because it'll take over in the way they carry themselves every day in their life. So, that's been the biggest thing, getting that instilled with our coaching staff, kind of what, I wanted to make sure that we get, across to our players. And so, It's been good though. I mean, I think that they're going to see a tough team. I mean, you're not gonna come out there and just walk on Warren. I mean, that's not going to happen. So
that's another question that I have. You have roots there in the San Antonio area, and now you're the head coach down there at Warren. It's been a while since we've seen a San Antonio team win a state championship, really get to that state championship stage. But it seems like to me, and I'm curious if you agree that San Antonio area high school football seems like it's on the rise. Seems like it's getting there. What's it going to take to get a San Antonio team really into that into that upper echelon, get them contending for a state championship?
Yeah, I mean, you know as well as I do. I mean, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. I mean, you got to have the players, and great coaching will take you so far, but the great players will, take you as far as you want to go. But there's some great teams. When I recruited down here, in San Antonio, just seeing what these high school coaches do. I mean, it's no different than what they do up north or down in Houston or anything like that. I mean, football's football. I mean, some of the schools up north and in Houston, they have a lot more than what we do. They got nicer facilities. They got that, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of great programs here. You just got to get hot at the right time, and because there's a lot of teams down here that I feel could compete, all the way across the state.
We're talking with Josh Littrell, the head coach of the San Antonio Warren Warriors here on Texas Football Today. All right, Coach, I got to circle back to this because you moved down from Iowa down here to Texas with your family. What's the family think about this move? Because it's a major climate change too.
Yeah, it is. It is. They're not standing in 8 feet of snow, and nor will they be. We're working on our tans right now, but no, it was different. I mean, being in our profession and bouncing back from college to high school, two different times. My family's, it's kind of like a military family. We've kind of moved, and but we're ready to dig our heels in here, and we feel we're in a great situation. We're a long way away from family. I'm from Kansas City originally, so but it's easy for our family to get on a plane and come down here. But I don't want to drive anymore. That's a long drive.
That's pretty smart, Coach. I would say so.
Yeah, but no, they like it. They're doing really well, and they're adapting. Again, it's hard. I got 3 boys, and a sophomore in high school, a 7th grader, and then I got a 4-year-old. So just trying to get them in with the right people here. Once we can get around each other, we'll be good to go.
He's Josh Littrell. He's the new head coach of the San Antonio Warren Warriors. Follow him on Twitter at Littrell Josh. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the new gig, and can't wait to see your team.
Hey, thanks for all you do for coaches and kids. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. There he goes, Josh Littrell, head coach, San Antonio Warren Warriors, joining us.